from Sutherland, South Carolina. He's a regional director on the way to regional vice president. He's already got a couple of regional directors in the organization, and he's building a massive group out there. Man, the last 2 weeks have been phenomenal. Can we give Mr. Curtis Evans a warm welcome? Come on, Curtis Evans, regional director from Summerfield, South Carolina.
Good. Well, I'm really happy to be here. We're going to take a few minutes to go over some really important stuff. First of all, I want to congratulate everybody on the call for getting involved with the business, okay? Most of you, like I, were raised from a little child to go get a job. We spent a lot of time learning how to get a job. And if someone shows us something different than that, we don't understand. We just don't understand because most people never thought about a business. Now, Mr. Thomas just talked to these folks and he explained to them, this is not a job, this is a business. You have to, because people think job. And when they think of a job, what are they going to tell you next? I already got a job. That's what they're going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that. That's what they're thinking. I already have a job. So he makes it really clear, this is a business. And then if you listen really carefully, one of the guys was doing fairly well. Now, he was making six figures, you know? Now, if you're making six figures, then you should be working on getting to what? 7 figures. This is a mindset thing, okay? But he explained to the guy, you had everything. You're doing really well. That's good. I mean, you probably had a nice car, a nice house, a nice dog, a nice cat. But one thing was missing, right? What was missing? Residual income. Residual income. Our company has residual income. Now, this is unusual, okay? Because billionaires and millionaires, they have residual income. They got their money sitting somewhere or working somewhere to create a check that comes every month. That's how they're able to do well, is because they know residual income. Generally, they're getting 1% or 2% on their money. But, you know, and so they have to have a whole lot of money to get good residual income on 1% and 2%. But our business, we're able to create residual income on 4% of bills that people pay every month. Now, think about that. The core of our business, the core of our business is we are looking to earn a big, fat, juicy check on the 15th based on the fact that people are paying bills that they're going to pay with us or without us, okay? And that's the whole thing. If you want to know what the gig is convincing, training, showing people how to earn residual income, something they're unaware of. So if they give you a little cold shoulder or something like that, don't worry about it. This is the way they're raised. So I want to first congratulate everybody on the call because all of you saw that. You saw the residual component. You understand it. And when you got into the business, you got to see that you only got 24 hours a day, 40 hours a week or whatever, and so many hours a month, and that's all you got. So you can't work with so much. You have to do something we call leverage, okay? Now, how do you get leverage? Now, the first way you get leverage is understand that you can do a lot in 40 hours, but if you had a team of 1,000 people with you, you got your 40 hours, and if each person gave you an hour, you got 1,000 hours plus your 40. In other words, wealthy people understand that. And that's why they're really happy about you looking for a job. If you want to come on board and look for a job, like a wealthy man told me once, you're going to make $1 million for somebody, okay? You're going to make $1 million for somebody, and he's going to break off 4% of that, which is $40,000 for the year for you. Or he's going to break off 5% of $50,000, or maybe 10%, depending on your job. So what we have to do is get to that side of the ledger, the wealthy side of the ledger. And that's a mindset. Again, you weren't raised with that mindset because more than likely your parents taught you to go get a job. And if you understand that, that's what was going on back then. A lot of them didn't have they were glad to get a job, and now they're happy that you're working and getting a job. And they'll tell you, stay on that job. Don't leave that job now. Don't go nowhere. Do what they say do. Stay on that job and retire. And we all know how that works out. You get a Social Security check, a Social Insecurity check, and you're off and you're in trouble there. So today we talked about mindset, and we understand how we got to be who we are, but we need to understand that this is not for everybody. We don't have the time to convince someone of something. We just don't have the time, and it doesn't work anyway. If it worked, it will work. So What we want to do is understand that part of our job is to understand a component called rejection. Now, the reason most of you can't do what Mr. Thomas just did a minute ago, the reason most of you can't do what Mr. Thomas did a moment ago is because you're worried about rejection. You're worried about what somebody's going to think. And if you get that rejection out of your head, because you're sorting, he was sorting a minute ago. He talked to 5 or 6 people and got their names and numbers, and the team got the names and numbers, and they're going to call, send an email, send a text, and try to see if the folks are interested. Well, he's sorting, but did you notice he didn't care? He did not care about rejection. But Mr. Thomas, do you care about rejection? Tell me what you think about rejection. Tell me what you think about rejection. That's it. That's the attitude that you have to have. You can't prospect and you can't recruit if you're worried about what people think. You can't. You can't do it. So what I would like you to do is understand rejection is the thing that people just cannot stand. And they don't like people to tell them no. And that's why they say they don't want to get into sales. There's more money in the sales than the law allows, but people don't get into sales because they can't stand to be rejected. They can't stand somebody to tell them no. Okay. And we know that in most cases, people are not saying no, they're saying, I don't know. They just don't know. So what we want to do here is to get you to understand the power of understanding rejection. If you can get this rejection thing behind you, you'll be all right. Now, keep in mind, 11,000 people are born, excuse me, I got the number wrong. 18,000 people are born every day in the United States. 18,000. You can't run out of people. You just cannot run out of people. It's not going to happen. ACN can be around another 100 years. You can't run out of people. Okay, babies are born all the time. So with that said, what I want you to do first is to understand that we are prospecting. Now, there's probably 200 people that you know, and I talked about this before, it's probably 200 people that will come to your wedding because you're getting married. They will stop what they're doing and come to your wedding. There are probably 200 people that come to your funeral. They'll stop what they're doing and come to your funeral. Okay, but you cannot get wealthy on those people. You're gonna get to probably RD with those folks. Showing them the business, showing the plan, you probably get to RD, maybe RC there. To get to this crazy money that you want to get to, this really, really, really good, rich money you're gonna get to, you have to learn how to do what? Talk to people you don't know. You have to learn how to talk to people you don't know. In multi-level marketing, we call that prospecting. We call that, prospecting. So how do you talk to people you don't know? Now he's been teaching us for 2 years how to do it. Go out there and get 3 names and numbers, 4 names and numbers, 5 names and numbers, and then a system that he's already taught us of what to do. But what makes it hard for us to do that? And I contend that the first thing is we're scared of being rejected. We don't want people, what are they gonna think about me? We got something in our heads. So I need you to have the attitude that's why I asked him to come on just a minute ago. I asked him to say, tell me what you think about rejection. And that's the attitude we have to have. We have to have fun with this. Don't look at it as work. Look at it as fun. I went out and got 3 names and numbers today. I went out and got 4 names and numbers today, and I didn't care. Now watch. With that said, I want to show you a film of someone that did really, really well. They got 2 short videos that did really, really well. And this guy was not worried about rejections.
Missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
In that instance there, this is a guy, Michael Jordan, a very, 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 very wealthy guy, owned a couple of teams and done real well. Did not make the basketball team in high school. Did not make it. He was not good enough to get on a high school basketball team. But guess what? This guy did well. And do you understand that he had the same attitude that Mr. Thomas just had a minute ago about rejection? 26 times they told him take the last shot. He missed them. He missed them. He's missed over 9,000 shots. All we know about is the shots he made, but 9,000. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Thomas to come back on for a second if you're unmute.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Did you recruit everybody that you prospect?
No, sir.
No.
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 So you're just not afraid of rejection.
No, sir. Not afraid.
Yeah. So I want everybody to hear that. Okay. And now, how did he get to that point? How did he get to a point? He just kept shooting. He kept shooting. He kept recruiting. And one day he got good at it. You think he was as good as he was initially when he first got into multi-level marketing? And you think when he first started talking to people, do you think he is as good as he is now? He became better and better over time, just like Michael Jordan did. Okay. So he's been able to make millions of dollars in multi-level marketing over the years. Now, I'm not saying he did that in 2 weeks, over the years, because he learned to prospect. And he didn't depend on the 200 people that he knows. He's waiting for Mary, her sister or her cousin, to come into business. She's interested. I know she can do good at this. He didn't do that. He kept going. Okay. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. I got another video that I want to bring up. And it's going to give you a snapshot now, because we got to get good at talking to the people we don't know. Okay. When we first get started, we talk to people we know. At some point, you're going to have to transition and go to people that you don't know. Remember, you know about 200 or 300 people to come to your wedding, and there's 8 billion people on the planet. And 18,000 are being born every day in the United States. So we're not going to run out of people. But this skill of prospecting is very, very important. Mr. McCray, who's on the call now, he picked up his new rep rather in by prospecting. He's simply prospecting. Okay, so he's using the skills that Mr. Thomas has given us, and he's able to pick up a prospect. Okay, a rep rather. Okay, at IBL. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna go to my next video.
5 reasons the rich don't talk to the poor. 1. The rich take action first and talk later. The poor talk about taking action but never do it. 2. The rich surround themselves with like-minded people. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. 3. The rich talk about vision. The poor gossip about people. 4. The rich focus on having their money make more money. The poor focus on exchanging their time for money. 5. The rich are proactive. The poor are reactive. The rich prepare for problems in the future. The poor do nothing and complain later.
So those are some things that we sometimes are so, we do unconsciously. And a lot of it has to do with mindset. You're going to hear about mindset a lot. We have to adjust our mindset so that, and it's not to say that wealthy people are better than anybody else or poor people are better than anybody else. We're not saying that. We're saying that if it's your goal to take care of some problems, and that's to get the residual income. The hardest income in the world to make is residual income. If your goal is to create a nice, big, fat, juicy check on the 15th of every month, you're going to have to start hanging around some more people. And a good start is to be on this call. I got to work harder to be on this call every day. 1. 2, the second thing is get to the convention around some people with a like-minded spirit, okay? So that we can be around people that are trying to do better, and we can learn from one another and do well. So that's our mission. Our mission is to do that. The biggest thing is just a mindset. People that are taking you down, you'll never be this, you can't do that. That's pipe dream, all that crazy talk that you're talking. Those are the people you don't need to be around. You need to spend less time with them. Let me put it that way. That's all I have for today. I'll turn the floor back over to Mr. Thomas. Thank you.